All right, let's go back to the thing. So the first one, hiring the 12 full-time diversity officers of Christmas. 2, an additional full-time employee. Oh, so 13. A baker's dozen. 13. An additional full-time employee whose entire role is to support Black students who come forward with complaints. Like, pick them up and hold them over their head. I'm supporting you. Hiring of multiple psychologists with, quote, specialization on the psychological issues affecting ethnic minority populations. Very good. Payoff. By the way, are there any teachers in this list? We'll see. We'll get you. Pay off student debt of incoming Black faculty. Yeah.
There's teachers.
Yeah. Well,
pay off the student debt. And how are we determining how to do this? By race. Isn't that racist?
What counts as Black?
No, we've redefined racism, guys. We've redefined racism. It's not racist to discriminate on the basis of race if you're an SJW, because they've redefined racism. Isn't that handy?
Reroute 50% of all donations to New York City public schools. I don't understand what that means. Like, to where? To dye shit? I don't know what that is. Elimination of AP courses if Black students don't score as high as whites. I'm sorry.
This is offensive. I mean, first of all, this is discrimination against gifted and talented kids.
Including Black kids, by the way.
Including Black kids. That's the point. This is offensive and racist towards Black students. It's like, what about the Black kids who do score high enough? So if on average they're not scoring exactly the same as white kids on average, or as, God forbid, Asian kids on average, well then what's going to happen to all those gifted and talented kids who are in these quote unquote underserved communities? You're kicking them out. You're destroying the things that have lifted them out. Since I posted this a couple of days ago, I've heard from lots of friends who credit gifted and talented programs in schools with being in some ways life-saving for them and changing their lives. And a lot of those people are not white.
Absolutely.
And they don't care, because at the end of the day, they'd rather destroy all excellence. They don't want any black children doing better than the average.
I don't want to paint with an overly broad brush, but they do generally hate achievement. I mean, they have a hatred of achievement generally at their core. It's part of the envy of Marxism. I mean, it's part of the core of their emotional relationship with reality is to hate achievement. So it makes perfect sense that this kind of stuff is a target. And I know you've had experience with gifted and talented programs, but I'll just speak from my own experience without dragging you into it. But I remember when they started a gifted and talented program at my school when I was in elementary school, there was 2 of us that were in the program. And for like a year, like 1 or 2 years, it was just 2 of us. And it was great. We got a lot of attention. We got to do things that there was no way we'd get to do at school. I mean, we got into programming and electronics and did all this stuff that, in the 80s was just not done in elementary schools. And it really helped us. And then a bunch of parents complained that their kids weren't in it. And so they lowered the standards. And like the next year, it was like 30 kids were in the gifted and talented program. And by the time I got to like high school, it was like, well, there's some AP classes, but there wasn't anything. So like it just ceased to help the kids that were there. It got watered down. And the other effect that it has is if the standard, what will happen, so they will lower the standards for AP testing. They'll try and change the test. There'll be pressure on AP to change the test if there hasn't been already. There'll definitely be pressure already here. We're seeing it on changing the classes. It will start making AP courses mean less, because if there's not objective standards about attainment, then the fact that you're in an AP class means less and you don't learn as much. And so you're less prepared for college. It unravels the whole thing. It unravels the entire meritocracy.
Totally. And we've already seen that with the SAT, where they've lowered standards on. So if you take a score today, it doesn't mean the same thing as a score from 95 or my experience with gifted and talented was, I was in something called Project Climb, which did the same thing. And it took kids from different schools in the school district and brought us all together. And I looked that up recently to find out if it was still happening. And it's been changed from what I can tell. It looks like they eliminated it, or they changed it to be to serve kids who are I'm blanking on the word, Carter. Not on the upper end of the scale, but on the lower
low
end.
Socioeconomic status, or
no, just kids who are underachieving. Underachieving is the right word.
Oh, so like underachieving kids, they basically bell curve everything.
They basically said, instead of serving overachieving kids, we're going to change this into something for under, and you should serve both. You should serve both. You should have programs specifically for underachieving kids, but also programs for overachieving kids. You can't stunt their growth because of some kind of deep-seated resentment or upset feelings that not everyone scores exactly the same on tests or has the same talents. Everybody has different talents. And this won't stop, by the way. This is, of course, this is not going to stop with AP classes and, it's going to extend into the arts as well. You will see them going after programs for people who have musical talent. They are not going to, it's not going to just be, these smart kids are making other kids feel bad or look bad, therefore let's get rid of these classes. They're going to go after, these kids have too much musical talent. It'll be just like Harrison Bergeron.
Absolutely.
Sports clubs, they'll do the same thing, so.
Absolutely.
I don't know, it really bothers me.